What was said at the all hands on deck Xbox town hall last week? We have an update here of the Xbox strategy, at least a hint as to what they're going to try and improve upon. Starfield looks like we know when the 2.0, the PS5 version, all that is going to be released. And PlayStation is working on another iteration of one of their bigger games. So before we do get into it, if you do enjoy daily gaming news and content, Xbox news, all the stuff that's happening within the world of game, make sure to hit the subscribe, share, and like. For now, let's get into it. So last week was the big transition. The brand new CEO, Asha Sharma, was taking over for Phil Spencer after a long tenure at Xbox, 12 years that he was the head, he was the CEO, he was Mr. Xbox. Everyone looked to him to hear what he was going to say, where he was going to be bringing the brand. He's had his naysayers. He's also done a lot of great things. Nobody is ever perfect in these roles, but overall, I think Phil did a great job for Xbox itself. In fact, I think he's instrumental in actually keeping Xbox here today, so that it is going to be here for the long run. Obviously, one of the major things was multi-platform, was the ecosystem, and all of the stuff that has happened over the last number of years. There's a lot of pushback against it. People do want to see Xbox go back to exclusivity. They do want to see them reverse course on certain things. And Asha Sharma, when she first got announced as the CEO, she did really make it sound like that they were going to be switching up the strategy in one way or another and bringing Xbox back to where it was seemingly during the Xbox 360 days. And I don't think that means full exclusivity, but I do think there could be some changes in how they do roll out their games. Last week, there was the big town hall and they introduced her. Phil Spencer was signing off. Of course, he's still going to be there to consult for a little bit, but there was a lot of questions as to what happened at this town hall. What did they say? And in particular, where was Sarah Bond? Because we know she is also leaving, and there is the assumption that she's leaving because she got passed over, that she's pretty pissed off as to what was going on, and then not seeing her in that main picture kind of added to that. But we do have information. She was actually there, and they did talk about her, so it's not as dire as some people potentially would have thought it was going to be. We have this article here from just according to Windows Central. At Microsoft's big Xbox all hands meeting, leaders paid tribute to the team, Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and the future, saying we are going to start with console and make sure that we understand that this is our reference experience. And that is something that I think a lot of people want to see and know about and get more information on going forward. So first of all, they had Phil Spencer though there. He was the outgoing CEO. They just talked about all of the great stuff in his life at Xbox and kind of praising him for all of that. He gives his experience. They do also talk about Sarah Bond here because, again, she is the one where the most mystery is surrounding as to really what happened here. And you had CCO Matt Booty and Asha Sharma paying tribute to her, saying, I also want to recognize Sarah. And there's cheers because there is the thought that people don't like her as much. She says, Sarah, you will be missed. You have been a key part of Xbox's history, and everybody sees that. And thank you for riding with me for the next few months. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. So it does seem like she is still going to be there consulting and stuff as well, because she's being thanked for riding with Asha Sharma for the next few months in case she has questions, I'm assuming, and just kind of the whole transitional period. Matt Booty says, I want to thank Sarah, who's back there, meaning that she was at this meeting. I have learned so much over the last 8 years from Sarah about the importance for how platform and first-party games can work together. Sarah, you have been our navigator. You have guided us all through complicated times, and we've had hard moments, but we are smarter and better because of it. I know you've always had my back, and I'll always have yours. So they're doing this internally at a town hall in front of the entire team. So you can take it as they're just trying to, I guess, make it positive and not be dramatic or anything, or you take it for their words. And I guess there wasn't as much negativity as some other articles that had previously come out towards Sarah Bond and her tenure at Xbox. Now, Asha Sharma, she is the new CEO. She said a lot of things, and I think she said a lot of good things that actually has me optimistic for the future of the Xbox brand. But can you believe her? That is the question. Xbox says a lot of things. They don't deliver all the time. They change course many times. I mean, that's kind of just how business works. It's agile, it's fluid, so things do change, but they have made promises and gone back on them numerous times. So it's very hard to trust what the CEOs and what the PR is saying as to where Xbox is going. Here is what she does say. I have 3 commitments that I laid out. We will deliver great games, and that's obviously the most important thing. Everything is downstream of great games. That means empowering studios to do our best work. The second thing is the return to Xbox. We are going to start with the console and make sure that we understand that this is our reference experience. So the return to Xbox was something that a lot of people have questions as to exactly what she means. And I think she outlines what she means right here. They're going to be focusing on the Xbox console as the main core place for Xbox to play video games going forward. Now, it's pretty easy to say now, especially when we've heard about where they're going with the next generation and basically it just being the Xbox console PC hybrid. So you're not really committing yourself to only focusing on the console experience, because the next console is going to have both. And I think that's a smart way to kind of PR it, to be completely honest, which is, it's fine. I have no issues with the PC console hybrid crossover. In fact, I'm actually more excited about the console in that way, simply because of the way I play, which is on both platforms. And I love what they're doing with the games everywhere and the play anywhere stuff that you get within the Xbox experience. So the PC console hybrid, being able to have my PC side, my Steam, and also get the Xbox console experience in one place, has me excited. But that's what she's focusing on here. There is going to be the first party Xbox console that they do build. That's going to be the baseline, I believe, for the OEMs and where they build out their Xbox consoles. Of course, if we get those, based off of what we are hearing, we will be. And there will be Xbox consoles more powerful than the Xbox from Microsoft, less powerful, but that Microsoft Xbox is going to be the baseline on how they base all of that stuff off and where games are being optimized for. So I believe that's what she means when she does say that line there. She says, we will meet players where they are and build experiences that are instant and seamless and accessible. So if you ever were thinking they're going back on exclusivity, I don't believe that is the case. It does seem like they're still going to be putting games on PlayStation. They're putting games everywhere. And third, we are living through an unprecedented era of change. We will build for the future of play. As we think about the road ahead, it's not going to be me or any one person. We will be Team Xbox. We will not be the studios or the platform or marketing or operations. We will be Team Xbox, and we'll get through this together. So that is her initial statement to the team at Xbox. And they also mentioned here that we have an amazing lineup coming up and we're going to have a great GDC. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited as to what is going to come out from GDC, because I think they will be focusing on removing those barriers for developers and being able to create the game once and then launching on PC and on the console. And I think that will be super beneficial for developers. I think they will love that in reducing costs and time optimization, all of that. So that part's going to be pretty cool. But that's what is the future of Xbox. Nothing concrete. Everything basically sounds they're staying the course, but bringing back a spotlight on the console, which they absolutely have lost over the last number of years. And as they're doing this transition to the ecosystem, there are a lot of console players out there that felt like second-class citizens simply because of some of the stuff that they weren't getting. PC Game Pass, having better games, getting the first party stuff day one, all of that, paying a cheaper price, that made the console players, I think, feel like they weren't the core players that Xbox was focusing on. And I fully believe that they need to focus on the console players as the core players. Put the games everywhere, for sure. Do that. I don't mind that at all. But make sure that the console and the players who play on console feel like they are getting the best possible experience that you can get, which is the main players that have had consoles from the beginning, from the OG Xbox to now. That is the fan base that has kept Xbox here, so they definitely need to focus on them. And I think they're going to start making more changes on that. One of the things Xbox has been criticized a lot for has been marketing. I've criticized them. Some of it is very weird. They seem to miss the boat on campaigns. Sometimes they don't talk about games and you're wondering when this game is going to come out and then it just drops. Like, I feel like they didn't even really market very much the Outer Worlds 2. All of this stuff. And it seems like Asha Sharma is moving to potentially make some big changes here on that front, as she's hiring some marketing hires. They say could signal a strategy shift towards lifecycle strategy, franchise focus and more structured campaign execution. Specifically, there are 2 roles here that have been posted, and here are the roles themselves. So it's the publishing and lifecycle marketing leader, Xbox Game Studios, and the senior product marketing manager for Xbox first party games. They say while both sit within marketing, they serve different functions. The publishing and lifecycle marketing leader is responsible for developing and executing how Xbox communicates with fans across devices and ecosystems, which is massive. They need to. I mean, there's still people that I talk to today that don't know where you can access these games, what Game Pass provides, things like that. And I think that is a big thing they need to fix. Says that means looking for the entire journey from attracting new players to keeping existing ones engaged. And the description makes it clear that this is not just about launch campaigns. It focuses on lifecycle marketing, covering acquisition, retention, and ongoing engagement across devices. Then you have the senior product marketing manager role. More specific on this one, they say focus on leading go-to-market efforts for a beloved RPG franchise, helping shape the next chapter of globally recognized series and connecting it with millions of players. You could think they're talking about Elder Scrolls here, Elder Scrolls 6 that is in development and will end up coming out. So maybe that person is focusing specifically on how they're going to make this one of the biggest video game launches of all times. We don't know exactly, but they are expanding out their marketing, which is something that I feel like a lot of people on the Xbox side have always thought they needed to do better with. And hopefully this is that strategy shift. One of the main things that she will implement is how to change the brand image for a lot of people out there, how to focus more on the console players, and then obviously the campaigns to get people believe that Xbox is the place that they do need to play and then stay on the platform itself. So some interesting stuff here, starting to slowly see it trickle down. None of this stuff will take effect for a very long time. As I've mentioned multiple times, this year's locked in. Like there's not going to be any big changes this year. It's the 25th anniversary. We're going to get a bunch of great games. We're going to get updates to the ecosystem. We're probably going to hear what is in store for us for the hardware themselves directly from Xbox, maybe an announcement of it. Maybe we'll see it. Like, you never know. It's going to be a very big year in that front. So all that is very exciting. One of the games that was rumored forever coming out here for PlayStation 5 was Starfield. If you remember, I think it was 2024 when they had the big business update. What kicked it all off was that article that Starfield was coming to PlayStation 5. We're going on 2 years now that has not happened yet. It is going to happen, and it's going to happen this year. And now we have more information. And in fact, this is from Bill Kun, who is a very good insider, always generally has good information. And now looks like we have that release date confirmed here by this insider, at least not by Xbox themselves, for Starfield on PlayStation 5. And we have the price and everything. So Deal Labs writer Bill Kun, who has gotten a lot of stuff correct, accurate, good track record, stated that Starfield will get a physical release on a PS5 on April 7th. We already saw that leak, so that's not shocking. And the prices for this will be the standard edition will be €49.99, £44.99. And then the premium edition will cost €70 or £60. And they say this price, the insider noted, is significantly lower than the price of the game on Xbox, where the standard edition is €80 and £70, and the premium edition costs €110 and £100. Now, I feel like they're going to reduce the prices on Xbox once they announce this for the PlayStation 5. It would be insanely absurd to have the Xbox version more. But of course, this hasn't been officially announced by Xbox yet, so they're not going to change anything until that does end up happening. They do say it's not known yet then whether the PS5 release will also mark a new lower price point for the games on the Xbox console. I would strongly guess here that, yeah, that is what they are going to end up doing. They're going to reduce the price and they're going to try to sell it there on Xbox. We're 2 years out, or we're not 2 years out, we're many years out since Starfield did end up releasing. And I wonder how this game will do on PlayStation, because we've seen a mix. Like Forza Horizon, huge game. It sold extremely well. Oblivion sold very, very well, but that launched on day one. Starfield, years out since it did come out on Xbox, will it be a top of the charts seller on the PlayStation console? I think it'll be pretty good. I don't think it'll be something that just absolutely flops on PlayStation, especially because if you remember before the release of this game, we talked about exclusivity. We talked about all of that stuff. When Xbox purchased Bethesda, one of the things where Xbox exclusivity actually benefited gamers was that they had the ecosystem. So you knew Starfield was going to be coming out in more places than if it was exclusive anywhere else. Because there were those rumors before Starfield did drop, before Xbox purchased Bethesda, that PlayStation was talking to Bethesda to make Starfield exclusive to the PlayStation 5. And that would have just been a terrible thing for the majority of gamers out there who wouldn't have been able to play it on PC or on the Xbox console or even in the cloud and everything, all the places that Starfield is available. So we'll see. I'm sure there are PlayStation guys out there that have just been waiting for this to drop, or and they will end up buying this one. And who knows if this was something that people went out and bought a PC or bought an Xbox specifically to buy. But I'm excited for the update. I'm excited for the 2.0, even though they're saying it's not 2.0, but the expansion, all that, Terran Armada, how is that going to be better? Because I did not like the first DLC that Starfield did end up putting out. Finally, it looks like PlayStation is developing another entry into one of their bigger series. It's been successful for a long time here, and that is Gran Turismo. A new Gran Turismo is in development, and this comes via 18 job listings at Polyphony Digital at the time of writing this. And a translated message on the job page says that Gran Turismo production team recruitment. It's been 25 years since I started making Gran Turismo. The main reason we were able to keep making it was because of the players. I think this is proof that the work I continue to make so hard resonated properly. We are proud to have realized the ideas of the future as much as possible through art and technology, but I always think it's still not enough to deliver the best experience to players. I want to create the future with art and technology. To those of you who have an insatiable desire to create, we look forward to your passion, technology, and ideas. So it looks like they are gearing up here to make a brand new Gran Turismo, which is cool because there's a lot of people who do love this game. In fact, this is one that I tried in the PSVR 2, which was probably the only experience that was worth getting PSVR 2 for at least a very, very long time. And it was pretty cool. So we'll see how this next one does end up shaping up. But on the video there, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.